Hi and welcome to Add More Zest. My name's Rebecca. I'm also known as 4Kids at 147. I'm just going to get some more diamonds straight in my tray. But now I'm going to give you tip and trick number 21, which is another alternative way to help get your diamonds straight, especially on a square diamond painting. It basically works as long as the diamonds that you're using touch. So on some round paintings, for example, if you made the diamonds touch, the squares are actually a little bit too big for them to touch. But many of the good quality round diamond painting companies, the diamonds do need to touch, but of course only ever so slightly because the diamonds are round. But it's primarily a great one for squares. This is actually the one, the square tip and trick that I favour over any others. The last tip and trick I did this section in a checkerboard method. But the one that I actually prefer is steps. So I do still get myself my straight edges on either side, and then I build up steps, because then I've got two different corners to nudge the diamond into, and I can come at it from the right because I am right-handed. You possibly come at it from the left if you're left-handed. And I come into it from the left and push the diamond in. Push the diamond into my little spot where my glue dot's not stickier than my canvas. Push it in from that side. And I always try and pick up the diamond just on the edge. I'm not sure if you can see it. Let me find something colourful. Can you see that? I've sort of got the edge of the diamond rather than directly on the top. And then I push it in. So I'm putting it in sideways as I've picked it up sideways. And I push it into basically my two edges that I have. And I build them up that way, so that I can create myself steps. And how big I make my steps can depend on the section I'm working on. It can also depend on, if I've got a huge section, quite often what I'll do is I'll just build myself a series of 4 steps. And in my head, I'll be doing that counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sometimes I do 5, sometimes I do big long stretches of steps, but quite often my favourite number to go to seems to be 4. Let me get that one to push in, and I do a row of 4 all the way across, and I'll just keep going until that section is done. So let's pretend that I've reached the edge of the section that I need to do. And then of course the next time then I'll only be placing 3 if I'd reached my edge. Then I'll place 2. This glue dot is proper sticky. Then I'll place 1. So I've got all my little section, and then I'll go back up. And in this case it's a section of 3 at the moment. And I'll carry on my next row of steps until I get to the end. And if one, decides to go off somewhere, if you're on poured glue like this is, often you can just use your pen to nudge it into place. If you're using double-sided tape and you happen to place it well over here, completely in the wrong place, you may have to take it off and put it back on again. But if you're working on poured glue, often you can just use the edge of your pen to nudge it into place. But I do like this method as long as you've got square diamonds that are the size of the square, so nice quality ones that fit snugly. I do really, really like this method for filling in a section. I do myself my nice big long strip to give me a basic edge, and then I'm just pushing them in to each section, and I don't particularly then have to think about it either. I'm just pushing them into the corner, using the two that are already there as a guide as to where they need to go. And as I say, as long as it's a good quality painting that you have, or you know, with square diamonds that actually fit the space, you'll find that you get them all tucked in without having that gap. So sometimes what can happen is you can end up with gaps and your diamonds start overlapping too many squares, and they take up, you know, more squares than they should. So by pushing them in to the gap, you can always use the line on your canvas to check, you know, that you're doing it right. But you can just push them into place, and then you'll get a really nice snug fit over the whole of your section. So I hope that helps people on working with squares. A couple of different ways over the last couple of tips and tricks of how it can help you to place them and to place them straight. But the best way to get them straight is to practice. And for that, you just need to do more diamond painting, which is not a bad thing. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you all again soon.